Hello and welcome inside a summer edition of the Score Save, the last summer edition of the summer, the second one. My name is Brian Hedge, joined by Danny Rago, Courtney Delks. Have a couple guests here lined up. But first of all, how are you guys doing? It's been a while since I've seen you.
Yeah, go ahead, Court.
I'm doing great. I would say this is like the pre-pumpkin spice era that we're in for this episode. But no, doing great. Wrapping up a lot of training with some of our pros that are going overseas. And I feel like I'm on a 7-year sabbatical. It's the first time both of my kids are in school. So during the school day, it's like I have this time of time that's open. So it's like a new era for me as well. So things are going good.
I love it. Danny, how you doing?
Well, you said pre-pumpkin spice. My daughter came home with a pumpkin spice chai, I don't know, Starbucks drink. So I think I don't know, $7 a day now until the end of until it turns into gingerbread season, I guess.
Gingerbread.
That's great. Well, the podcast will start making us some money here soon.
Yeah, I bet it does.
All right. So we have a couple guests here, like I mentioned. Lexi Primus of North Knox High School and Lilli Barnes of Valparaiso are going to be our guests this week. Talk it over with them, and then we'll get caught up on a couple housekeeping things here, Danny, Courtney, and I. But first, let's go with let's just have Lexi on. She looks like she's ready to go. So bring in here Lexi Primus. Did I say your last name right, Lexi? I should have asked before I.
Oh, you're good. It's Primus.
Primus?
Yeah.
Perfect. How you doing?
Not bad. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks so much for hopping on with us.
Yeah, of course.
How's so I'll get the ball rolling and then turn it over to Danny and Courtney and let them take control of the question. But first off, how's the summer going? How did things go for you summer-wise with AAU ball recruiting and everything?
Yeah, it went really good. I thought, like, as a team, we played really well over in July. And I think we got to, like, show our skills a lot over in July. We had a lot of coaches there, and it was a good summer.
Go ahead, Danny. Yeah, so how's it going, Lexi, by the way?
It's going good.
It's good to see you. So maybe you know this, maybe you don't. I mean, we've started to get into different pockets that listen to the podcast. And so I think my first question would be just kind of let us in on the North Knox South Knox rivalry. I mean, last year was two of the better teams in the state in relative to class, and then you guys had that great semifinal matchup. You're now right in the middle of this thing, but for the people that maybe aren't from your particular part of the state, can you just tell us what that rivalry is all about and your perspective on it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just two really great teams. It's always like we're the two teams that really want to win in our county. I think we both it's always such a great game. We always bring such a great crowd in, and I think both of our teams have such a great skill level as players, and just playing against them it's awesome. It's so much fun.
What was that game like last year? Obviously, we saw some video. We heard the talk going in where people were having trouble finding parking spots, and the game was still like a week away. But what was it like inside the building playing in front of that crowd at the sectional?
Oh, it was crazy. You just stepping on that court, you just get cold chills. It's it's so loud. It's very energetic. It was crazy.
So is it like that during the regular season too? Like, does this rivalry, does it, when you're playing in the middle of December, is it the same kind of way?
Yeah. Well, in the past years, we haven't always been as big as a rivalry, but this past year, both of our games, they both sold out, and it was insane. I don't know, it just came about in this past year. So.
And you probably played youth basketball with all of these kids and AAU basketball when you were in junior high and stuff, right? So there's a real big familiarity. Am I picturing this correctly?
Oh yeah. I know over half the girls on South Knox. So it's a lot of fun to play against the people that I do know. So
cool. And then so last year, so you ended up winning that basketball game in the summer. You actually, and if I'm not mistaken, right? So you went undefeated outside of one 1-point blemish against Bedford North Lawrence, right? And then you beat South Knox in the sectional semifinal, and then what happened? So did you just fall into? Is that a trap game against Linton for the sectional championship? Kind of take us through that and what your, I don't know, maybe just where your heads were out after beating South Knox and then the very next night having to play Linton and coming up short in that one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so on Friday we played South Knox, and then we had our game the next day against Linton. So we had to prepare for Linton and the majority of that Saturday morning. And I think it was a really hard transition from the defense that we were playing against South Knox to the defenses we were playing against Linton. For South Knox, we were really getting out on the 3-point line, and for Linton, we really needed to suck in. And that's kind of where we went wrong. And I would also have to say, like, we definitely lost our legs from the Friday game. We played really great defense against South Knox, and I think that kind of really caused us to be short on a lot of our shots and just not. Our defense was definitely not there on Saturday.
As a player, how do you handle season-ending losses like that? Like, is that something that you're still stewing over, or are you quick to package it up and kind of move on?
It's definitely still a hard watch. I would have to say, like, it still gets me. Talking about that game and just watching it still hurts.
Danny mentioned one other game that I wanted to touch on before we spin things ahead with you, and that's the Bedford North Lawrence game. I was following that up here in Indianapolis, and I mean, that kind of felt like one you guys probably should have won. What if you could just talk us through that experience too, and playing against a eventual Miss Basketball in Chloe Spreen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we definitely prepared a lot for that game. We really wanted to win. Coming into that game, we had a pretty good plan against Chloe Spreen, and during that game, I thought we didn't do like a too bad of a job on her. I didn't think, and then just at the end there, our defensive plan, we were gonna foul to like just try to get them like off guard and not like set up a play there at the end, and we ended up fouling on a last second shot. And yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of happens, but we definitely should have won that game.
What was the plan against Chloe? You held her to 23 points and 47% shooting. That didn't sound as good, but the 23 points for a relative last season was fairly low. What were you guys doing against her?
We definitely had a lot of on-ball pressure on her, of course, and then we had a lot of like help down whenever she was in the post and was posting, and we were just making sure we were in that help side at all times.
So over the summer, then, how is recruiting been going for you? What schools have been reaching out to you, and how has that process been progressing for you?
Okay, so I've been talking to like schools like Toledo, Central Michigan, Evansville, Lehigh, Chattanooga, schools like that, and I've been going to like a couple of their camps and stuff, and I've been taking calls, and so.
Yeah, how have you liked the recruiting process?
Oh, it's nice. It's a lot of fun. It is kind of stressful, I won't lie, but outside of that, it's nice to be able to talk to all these college coaches and get their opinions on of my game.
So now you're going into your junior year. Have you thought about like a timeline, or is it still too early for you in that, or how are you approaching these next stages of recruitment?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I haven't really like thought too much about it. I think I want to wait until the beginning of my senior year to really know for sure.
Any reason why you want to wait that long?
I think I just really want to make sure like that I have the right fit for college. I don't want to commit too early and then just not be happy with my decision later on.
So Lexi, you're entering into your junior year, so you're officially an upperclassman. So you've been through what an off season, what a preseason is like. And October 21st is the first official day of practice, which is 60 days away, which is about 8.5 weeks. So what do you plan on? What's your plan individually? Kind of what's your team doing during these next 8.5 weeks?
Yeah, for sure. We have weights right now. We're in weights as a team, and our open gym starts soon at the like beginning of September, I believe. And then like individually, I'm still like working out every day as much as I can, just like shooting, ball handling, and like 1v1ing whenever I can.
What's one thing this off season that you individually have been working on improving in your game?
Definitely finishing and like mid-range.
Awesome.
So what about the team? I mean, you talked about your individual, your individual skill set. I mean, spin it forward to the team. So first kind of catch us up on what you graduate, what you return. I mean, last year you're one of the best teams, like I said, in relative to 2A, right? So one of the best teams in 2A. I think you probably only graduate a couple of kids. You return the majority of your scoring. You return the majority of and you should have continuity coming back, right? The expectations have to be pretty high, right?
Yes, absolutely. We did lose 5 seniors, but only one of them was a starter. So we have 4 starters coming back. So we definitely have a lot of expectations, and I think anybody that comes off the bench this next year, will be able to fill in the shoes of the seniors that left.
What do you feel like you need to shore up as a basketball team?
Oh, sorry, what?
What do you feel like you need to shore up as a basketball team?
I would definitely say we need size. We don't have any post right now, so we need some rebounding and someone that's able to just be able to get some boards and put some up for us.
So aside from the South Knox game there on December 7th, do you have a date circled or a game opponent that you're particularly looking forward to playing this year?
I would definitely have to say Washington. They're our first game, and we actually played them over the summer, and they ended up beating us by a couple of points. So I'm really looking forward to that game, though.
Nice, very nice. Courtney, Danny, do you have anything else? I had 2 random questions that I wanted to ask her that I asked at volleyball media today that I'd like to hear Lexi take on.
Well, she got a little bit into the schedule. I'm just curious. So did you guys kind of beef up the schedule a little bit with the expectations? I mean, I think I kind of heard that North was going to be up even in Indianapolis playing some games. Have you guys looked at who is on the schedule and who you might be playing that you didn't play last year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I know for sure in our winter tournament, we are going up to Center Grove to play Center Grove and Brownsburg, which are 2 really big games for us that we picked up. And also during season, I know we picked up Princeton. So I think that'll definitely be a really competitive game because they're really physical.
Yeah.
How much
isn't Jackie Young's sister coach? Isn't Jackie's sister coaching at Princeton now? I think she's the head coach.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. So do you do a lot of scouting? Have you looked at the schedule that you guys have and all that stuff?
Yeah, I definitely do scouting. I love watching games of the other team before we even start watching film on them.
Oh, really? So are you watching? Are you in those stages now with it kind of being school season?
Yeah, I in school. I'm usually when we're in study hall or whatever. I'm usually on game film, just watching some teams.
Anything standing out to you? Who have you been zeroing in on as you're studying film? Any teams in particular?
Well, the 2 teams that I've really been watching is Washington and South Knox because they're really returning everybody. So it's not hard to go back and watch any of their games.
So I only got a chance to see Washington once, and it was kind of in passing at that HSE tournament over the summer. What is it about Washington that kind of sets them apart and has gives them some potential to do well this year?
Well, they have a lot of size and they have guards that can shoot, so they have a lot of in and out game, and I think we can be able to defend that, but it will definitely take a lot of preparation for us too.
For you guys,
hang on. So will you guard Katie? I mean, you talked about the lack of size in relative to rebounding, but are you gonna? I mean, will you have to guard Katie, or will you swing over to London, or you have to want Katie, right? I mean, eye for an eye, best player for best player, right?
Yeah, I would absolutely love to guard Katie, but it's usually not me. There's a girl that's about 5'10" on our team that can.
So she's gonna get the assignment.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you think your team this year, with not having as much size as you did before, how do you think you guys will address that? How will you compensate for that?
I think last year it was mainly our 3-point shooting, and I think in the off season we really worked to get to the rim a lot and just getting to the foul line, and I think that's really going to be a huge part of this upcoming season is getting to the foul line and being able to do some more in and out game with some of our bigger players. But 3-point shooting is definitely our big one.
So this is a totally off the wall question, but you watch much of the Olympics?
I don't.
Oh, you don't watch them?
No.
Right, well, I did, Hank. Ask me. No, every night.
Let this poor girl go to bed at 10:30 at night. Well, Lexi, thank you so much for stopping by to talk with us. I'm looking forward to seeing you this year and getting down there, hopefully for that South Knox game. That looks like it'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, thank you so much for hopping on with us, and take care. We'll talk to you again soon.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
See you, Lexi.
Lexi Primus, junior from North Knox High School. Danny, I'll ask you the Olympics question after we talk with Lilli. It's a good question. It's a good question. All right, we're going to go ahead and bring on Lilli Barnes. And Lilli is a junior now at Valparaiso, right?
Yes, I'm a junior.
God, that is – I mean, I say this and I sound like an old man, but it is wild how quickly time has gone by. How are you doing? How have you been feeling?
I'm good. Like, my body feels good. I was able to play, like, all of July and all up till now, so it's definitely been good.
So I'll start there and just fill everybody in on just what injuries you've been recovering from and what you were dealing with at the beginning of the summer.
Oh, sorry. So in May, I think it was, or April, in our Texas tournament, I, like, just planted on my knee wrong, basically, and, like, went to the doctor, and they said, like, something with my meniscus got, like, stuck on itself. So I had to go into, like, a procedure, and they, like, shaved my meniscus, and I was out for, like, probably, like, only, like, 4.5 weeks, a month and a half, and then I was able to start, like, going back into things.
So the month and a half, was it a welcome break, or were you itching, ready to go?
I was definitely itching to get back. Like, I went to, like, some of, like, I went to, like, one of the AAU tournaments, like, I couldn't play, and, like, and I was just, like, watching, like, supporting the team and everything, and it was definitely, like, dang, like, I wish I was out there and stuff. So, and I had to miss one live period, so I was definitely, like, wanting to get back. So it was hard a little bit.
Well, it's good to see you back on the court, Lilli. I mean, I think Indiana high school basketball is better when you're on the court.
Thank you.
But it'll be in a little bit of a different look this year, right? So Candy Wilson, your coach, is out and you have a new coach in. So, I mean, give us the Lilli Barnes perspective on the coaching change and, you know, kind of what your role was and kind of walk us through what the first maybe couple of weeks were like with the new coach and just kind of talk about it.
So we were, like, lucky to be able to have, like, the whole month of June with our coach, with our new coach. And she's from Maryville, so from the DAC. Like, I've played her before, like, and I always knew, like, she was a good coach and everything. Like, Maryville's always a hard team to play. And it's been, like, really good so far. Her and Wilson have definitely, like, different coaching styles, but I think hers definitely still fits our team, and, like, we're working into it. And I think it's going to be a really fun season with her coaching us.
Are you driving right now, by the way?
Yeah, I am driving. I'm in the car. We had to drop my sister off at college, so I'm still driving back from that.
Well, I don't know if, like, I don't know if Lee was driving or what, but anyways, please be safe.
You aren't actually driving the car.
No, I'm not driving.
Oh, you're not driving. Okay, so
No,
you're
I'm not
riding.
driving.
Danny is on this, like, quest to get the show canceled by including implying that you're driving.
No, I'm not driving. I'm good.
Yeah.
I was
To
like,
be clear, Lilli Barnes is not driving and doing this stupid show. For the love of
No,
God.
I'm good. I'm not driving.
Oh
What
my
college
God.
are you guys coming home from?
Miami of Ohio.
Miami of Ohio. Cool.
So, I guess just in terms of coaching style, how important was that July session with her, and how quickly were things to mesh with the new head coach?
It was definitely, like, I think all of summer, like, she's kind of still just been, like, laid back and, like, just seeing what our style is and how we play just without any coaching, so that when she comes in coaching, like, she knows how each of us play individually just without, like, a strict style of coaching. So, but we can still kind of tell, like, what her style is like, and it's more of, like, open play, it seems like. And she's, like, told us, like, there's going to be more, like, moving, and just it's not really going to be, like, okay, like, a specific set play. So it's more of, like, a motion offense. So we'll
And
have
you
to
like
see,
that?
but what?
and you like that?
Yeah, I definitely like that. I think, I mean, I could play with either style, like strict play, motion, but I like the motion, like being able to just, like, set screens, move, get screens, just play off the dribble and what the defense gives you.
Yeah.
Does that fit better with the personnel that you guys have coming back too?
I think either we definitely lost we lost 3 seniors, and we definitely lost like a lot of height. So we don't have much height this year, but we still have like a couple like floaters and like JV players who are coming up, and I think could like fill those positions. And we've definitely gotten better over the summer, like the whole summer. Like with our new coach, we've been like doing like skills work and more just like improving than like working on plays and all of that stuff. So I think we'll be able to be good, even with the personnel we have this year.
So take us back to the sectional last year, or was it the regional? I'm sorry, the round that with the last play, you get beat Northridge, right?
Yeah, that was Northridge.
Yeah, take us back to the Northridge game. Okay, just talk about
Go ahead, Lilli.
Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, just take us back to the Northridge game. Just kind of retell that story.
Okay. So we came in knowing Northridge is like a really good team. We prepared a lot like the upcoming week for that, and I think we had time to prepare, which was like a really good thing. We came in, I feel like we were definitely the underdogs. Like we kind of knew like we have nothing to lose in this situation. Like let's just go out and play and see what happens. So we came out and like we were close like the whole entire game, and like I think we were down by 1, and the Northridge players were like trying to stall. There was like less than a minute left, and someone dribbled it out of bounds, and like we got the ball back, and it was just like in that moment where she dribbled it out of bounds, like we were all just like, oh my god, like we have a chance to win this. Like we have one more shot. Like this is not like it didn't feel real. Like it was like insane. But so then Coach Wilson called a timeout. She started drawing up a play, and it was for Cadence to get a shot if there was an open shot in the corner. And then if not, I think she was supposed to swing it back to me, and then I was supposed to pass to Becca, but like it did not end up working. But somehow we still like got open because Cadence got the ball in the corner, and like they just sent like 3 players out on her because she's like our shooter. So they were like not wanting her to shoot, obviously. So they all like went out, like focused on her, and then Becca ended up being wide open under the basket, and Cadence was able to find her, and like she got an and one, and it was just like when I saw Becca open, I was like, oh my gosh, like she's wide open, and like Cadence threw the pass, and I was like watching it from like the 3-point line because like I was out there, and I was just like it didn't feel real, like it was crazy.
And Becca hitting that shot was like perfect, right? Because she came off the injury and like couldn't have scripted a better ending for her senior or not ending.
Yes, definitely. She got injured last year, so this is like her comeback season, and it was like really great to see her have that and be able to come back on the court and like hit the last second shot basically for us. So I was really happy for her and happy for us as a team.
What'd you learn from playing with her and some of these other seniors, over your first couple seasons?
Mm-hmm. I mean, all the seniors, like my freshman year, like the seniors were very welcoming, like all the upperclassmen, like definitely had such a positive impact on me. Becca was very like positive. Like she was never like, you never saw her getting down on herself or others, which is really like why I was so sad that she got hurt, because she's like the heart of our team basically. Like she keeps us all together. So I've definitely learned, and like whenever I would get down on like myself or something, like she'd always be there like to help me, like just get out of your head, like whatever, just play, have fun. So she definitely helped a lot. And same with Kristen Bucata my freshman year. I think I definitely looked up to her because we kind of played the same position. So it was really fun, like playing with all the seniors and everything, both my years.
So spin it forward to this year. So you've got a new coach. You're back. You're healthy. I mean, and being one of the better players, regardless of class in the state, I mean, the expectations have to be pretty high, right? So where's your mind going into this season, and what are you expecting, or what are you shooting for?
I think I'm definitely shooting for, I want to get like my mid-range game better and definitely get like into the best shape I've ever been in, and be able to play like a whole game and like with my best like potential, I guess. And I think as a team, we're definitely shooting for sectionals. Like we definitely want to win sectionals. We want to get back to where we were last year and try to go further. That's always the goal, I think. And take it with Coach Kratz, our new coach, and just see how it goes and have fun.
We have 60 days until October 21st, first day of practice, 8.5 weeks. What have you been doing? I know you said you want to get into shape, so my curious trainer mind is wondering what's been the conditioning regimen that you've been doing or that you have kind of scheduled coming up here for preseason.
We have weightlifting 3 days a week, and we start again tomorrow. We've been doing that like before school, and like as a team, like we've been our like assistant coach like and our coaches like we've been going to like the beach and like doing like beach runs and like stair runs, so that's definitely helped a lot with getting back into shape from like my injury. And then also just I've been going to like my trainer like outside of like open gyms and just weightlifting, like going to basketball every single day and just working on my speed and recovery. Like I think the biggest thing I learned from like my injuries is just like stretching, like recovering after I play, like eating healthier and all of those things. So yeah, that's what I've kind of been doing to get back into it.
What would you say is the best form of recovery, Lilli?
Sorry, the internet's really bad.
Oh, it's all good. What would you say is the best form of recovery?
And just trainers are like great at our school, so just going to them and seeing what they can do, like icing and everything, I think that's like really helped a lot.
I'm gonna give you a little secret headed into your off-season, preseason season. Sleep is the #1 form of recovery. Make sure you value your sleep.
Got it. I will. Thank you.
Lilli, one more before you get you out of here, and that's just with regards to recruiting. I know I've been seeing the offers pop up, but I'll let you tell folks just who's been in on you and what too. Just I mean, generally, what you've thought of the process as it's picked up here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely been like a cool experience and a fun process. It definitely can be like a little stressful at times, but overall, like I'm really grateful for it, and it's just really cool to like be able to experience it and talk to all these coaches and get their opinions on everything. I've been talking to Minnesota, Purdue, like Butler, Ball State, Toledo, like some of those schools, and it's I think like recruiting wise, like when I want to commit, I haven't really like narrowed down like any of my options so far, but I think like this year and this fall, like I want to start going on like visits and like really like looking at the practices and like seeing if I could like imagine myself going there and like take it more seriously and start narrowing the options down and maybe like be committed. Like I want to be committed like before my senior year for sure, and like probably like before my next AAU season ends.
So at Minnesota, has it been? I know their coaching staff from South Dakota has it been like Aaron Horn and Jeschke and
Yes,
Putzway
yes.
talking to you? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, they're good people from up north there.
Yes.
But yeah,
Yes,
that's
I really
cool.
like
So
that.
you've been enjoying the process so far?
Yes, it's been fun, and I think it's just really like great to be able to talk to all these like college coaches like and just get their opinion on stuff and like hear what they're saying, hear what their like coaching style is like, and I think it's just like I'm really grateful for it.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, Lexi, Lilli, thank you so much for jumping on with us. I'm glad you're not driving. I apologize for Danny trying to get you in trouble.
No, you're good.
But it was good to see you, good to talk with you, and yeah, we'll be seeing you here in a few months.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Thanks. Take care. That was Lilli Barnes of Valparaiso. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff with her. Appreciate her hopping on with us. I don't know if Lexi saw the message that we sent, but she jumped off immediately.
Okay.
But no, the thing that I was going to talk to her, and the thing as we transition here to just the three of us talking for a few minutes, is the shot clock seems to be closing in on Indiana. I think Missouri's added it. Illinois is on the verge of adding it. I want to say maybe Ohio. But it just seems like the walls of the shot clock are closing in on Indiana. Do you think that it's going to happen? Do you think that it's imminent? Or do you think that these old hats will hold their ground?
I can't. I can't have a rational conversation anymore about that topic. I can't like it, should we be bracing for an economic collapse because we're going to add shot clock to high school basketball? Like that's the way that it just seems now, that it's just like, oh my gosh, the finances or the style of play is going to be so different. It's just, I'm happy to hear that. It's actually news to me, Hank, that you feel like it is closing in. I do feel like I do feel like there is a level of inevitability to it. I mean, we played 15 tournaments this year, and 12 of them had the shot clock. And I can't imagine why these small AAU tournaments can plug a shot clock in to the wall and put it on the corner, and we can't do it for high school. I guess I can't, like I said, I can't have a rational conversation about it anymore. So hopefully it works. Hopefully you're right. Hopefully it is closing in, and I will welcome it with open arms when it does.
Court, what do you think of it?
Hey, I'll start the fundraising team for the shot clocks. I think we could get all the money fundraised for the shot clocks pretty quickly. So I think I agree with Danny. We've had this conversation. Like, it's doing the kids a disservice to not have the shot clock. It's a part of the game. So let's add it in. Like, it's a part of the game. It's not like it's this big thing. It's not a big change because it's already a part of basketball. So why are we not preparing kids with the shot clock while they're in high school?
Yeah. I would have been interested. I should have asked her in the interview. I would have been interested to get Lexi's thoughts on that. As a small town kid who plays down in Southern Indiana, I think it would have been interesting to hear her perspective. A couple other housekeeping items as we keep things a little tighter tonight, because we all have places to go and things to do, namely sleep. Couple recruiting things. Jayla Lampley narrowed down her top 5 schools. I pulled those up. Also, Meredith Tipner of Noblesville commits to Miami, Florida. So good news for both of them. I know Tip's recruitment, I think right after the All-Star game, she was planning on going out there to Miami for a visit. But obviously I've known her pretty well from covering soccer and that. Danny, I know you do too, just through coaching. And Courtney, I'm not sure how well you know Meredith, but great kid and excited for her and the opportunity that she has at Miami.
Yeah, that's two great players in that class now. Or Meredith has found her home, and Jayla kind of narrowing in, and so I think we have one more year to enjoy the talents of those two kids. I also saw that I think Noblesville, I think, has probably already played a soccer game, and I think she had 2 or 3 goals in the first one. So
scored twice, yeah.
Don't know what's that. I mean, I think you said that she was maybe an odds-on favorite to win Miss Soccer, so that campaign seems to be off to a good start. And by the way, I think that those 2 goals came against like the number 7 team in the state. Like, it wasn't against some. I think it was maybe Cathedral. I think they have a big one coming up against Hamilton Southeastern. They play the perennial power Carmel coming up, and so it'll be fun to kind of watch that. But Meredith going to Miami, I do think is a very, very interesting one. I think there's a lot of people that saw the arc of her career through Noblesville and saw Miami of Florida with other schools on the list, and were surprised that she's bringing her talents to Coral Gables. But I think it just kind of proves that kids, everybody runs their own recruitment, right? I mean, we don't necessarily know what they're looking for or what the quote unquote fit is. So I think we should all, embrace the fact that she's forging her own path and going down south, and cheer her on, and she can represent the Hoosier State down there in Coral Gables.
Her recruitment really took off there over the summer, where it was just like Power 5 after Power 5 after Power 5, and a kid who's smart enough and obviously talented enough to play at like an Ivy League school coming in. Then suddenly all the Power 5s came in, and Miami's a great school for her. But sharp kid, and I'm excited. I'm interested. Noblesville an interesting team, to analyze when you look ahead going to next season. For Jayla Lampley, the Lawrence Central standout, Louisville, Cal, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Georgia, and Rutgers are her final schools. She tweeted that out back in July. So that's another one to monitor, a player whose stock is skyrocketing, and I'm curious to see where Jayla's destination is and how that influences her sister Lola's recruitment as well. Lola won another gold medal with the U.S. basketball program. And then their teammate Layla Abdurraqib committed to New Mexico recently as well. Super fired up for Layla. I've gotten to know her fairly well over the past couple of years. It's a kid who's been through it all in terms of injuries, finally healthy last year, wins a state championship, probably the most valuable player in that team. So to see her commit to a D1 like that for a kid who didn't really like basketball growing up is pretty awesome. You love to see that for kids like that, and same for all of them. Anything else you guys want to touch on, Courtney? Anything you want to promote or talk about or brag to Danny and I about in podcast form? Should we talk about Sable? See if we can get him in hot water again. Actually, he's going to get in hot water.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. It feels good to be back on, though. I'm excited. It's only August. Like, I'm super pumped to be back on the pod.
Yeah, I think so. You said it's 60 days, Courtney, right?
60 days.
Yeah. Like I remember the first game I went to, I think last year was, I think right around Halloween. I think I went to go see Eastern Hancock, I think maybe play. So yeah, I mean, I think we're closing in on the season, and I think this storylines are abundant this year. I think the one thing that I'm most excited about is the depth of talent in that 25 class at the top is ridiculous. Like Makaluski, like I just saw something on social media the other day. Like she was the most efficient offensive basketball player on one of the shoe circuits. Jayla Lampley had a monster year under the swoosh in their in their league. And we talked about Tipner and her commitment that she made down at Coral Gables. Avery Gordon, Kira Reynolds, Addison Baxter, I think is back for her senior campaign. I mean, I just off the top of my head, those are 5 kids that in any other year would carry the banner in a Miss Basketball campaign. And I think the depth, we've known this for a very long time. The depth in that 25 class, particularly at the top, has been extraordinary. And I think it's going to be very fun to watch these kids in their victory lap and what they can do and leading their teams now in very feature roles. So I'm super excited to see it. I think it's going to be a very fun year. But for me, that's the big headline, is how good some of these seniors are this year.
And there's so much depth beyond them too. Like Allison Choi of Fishers, I saw her and have been following her summer a little bit. She feels like a kid who's on the cusp of a really big senior season, and she's been really good at Fishers for a while, but just kind of goes, I don't want to say under the radar because that sounds disrespectful, but I mean, there's just so much star power in that class. It can be easy to lose track of kids. And she's one of those kids. Nevaeh Dickman at Fishers as well. Like, I think, Fishers is going to be a lot better than people expect them to be, maybe. Kenzie Garner down at Sheridan is phenomenal. I mean, she just led her team to a semi-state berth last year. Just kids like that, Danny, to your point. I mean, the talent in that class is just so abundant. It makes a really fun Miss Basketball race at the top. The All-Star debate is going to be absurd. And just, I mean, gosh, once we roll the balls out there and start playing, I mean, it's going to be unbelievable. I mean, think about how much fun some of those games that we saw at the HSE summer event a few months ago, hanging out in the gym and just, killing time watching games. To have a full season's worth of that is going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
That's all we got, though. A nice, tight 40-minute episode. Don't get used to it. They will be at least an hour longer than this moving forward. But yeah, we'll be back probably in the early to mid-October with the start of our season preview stuff. We're going to discuss that. We'll have a big plan. I think we're all kind of going to blow it out a little bit, bring on some coaches and different guests. Let us know what you guys want to see from the show over the coming weeks and months. I definitely am interested in feedback. And yeah, we're excited to be back for another season. Yeah, I have nothing else to add, nothing else inspirational to say. So we'll end up with that, and we'll talk to you again soon.